Shalom. Okay, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our elders of GMS. Salutation, peace, and blessings to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel, people of Negro, Latino, Native American, Seminole, Indian descent. Okay. Development the targets mapped to 14 U.S. locations in Russia's crosshair, and that could definitely be referring to their overseas where they're occupying. 14 U.S. locations where the scripture says, all of Babylon's going to burn. This whole goddamn place, Canada as well, The spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the spirit of judgment. Parts of Mexico is going to get hit as well. Mexico needs to get hit. Here, let me do this here. Let me get the scripture. Most notably Jeremiah 50 possibly. Let me pull this one up. Let me pull Ezekiel 39 and 38 as well, but let me hit 39. There's a point in 39, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And we're talking about modern day Gog and Magog. And you study the history of which a lot of Edomites is stuck on, a lot of Jakes as well, that is referring to the Japhites, for the Japhites no longer in that land. Okay. It says here, say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen. And this whole army is days after day after day after day, it's growing. You understand, it's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that's building this army to destroy the whore. So it's going to be a great army. They're well over 1 million now, which is still being underreported. Okay. And they say again, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. No, it's like I'm in a totally wrong. Somehow 38 come up. 39 is it's like, okay. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, thus said the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and leave but a sixth part of thee. And I will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. And I will smite thy bow, meaning 6 parts, meaning that they're going out to war. And there's going to be a part left there to protect, the run missile defense systems, leaving a battalion. Well, I don't want to say a battalion because this part is actually going to be much larger than a battalion, but it's to protect the motherland, so-called motherland of Russia, while the other parts go out and fight this great war that's coming. I will turn thee back and leave but the 6th part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts. All right. I just did this earlier when I hit up a third. And let me see, it's 6-part. I don't know how they come up like that. Pie chart. Okay. And you can see the 6-part, the yellow. Okay. Okay, let me X this out. There we go. So it's about to go down. Vladimir Putin nuclear target map, the 14 U.S. locations in Russia's crosshairs. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that the West threatened nuclear war if the alliance sends troops to Ukraine. During his State of Union address on Thursday, Putin claimed NATO and the U.S. are preparing to strike Russian territory. He added that they must realize that we also have weapons that can hit targets on their territory. All this really threatens a conflict with the use of nuclear weapons and the destruction of civilization. Don't they get that? This is the first time Putin has threatened nuclear war with the West in recent years as Moscow and Washington continues to clash over the war in Ukraine. So you can see Esau has no other intentions but to get this war, to get this thing started. And when I'm talking about Esau, I'm talking about Amalek, more specific. You know, Esau believes he's going to get this birthright. And you know those devils study these scriptures. So they know damn well what's going on and what they're doing. They're literally starting this war and purposely hoping that, and thinking that they're literally going to get the kingdom. And you have to watch this documentary that goes into it. It's on the documentary's on it's on Rumble. Okay. Putin also claimed that his new RS-28 Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile is ready for the Russian military to use, also known as the Satan II. It measures 116 feet in length, weighs 220 tons, and reportedly has a range of 6,200 to 11,180 miles. Putin's saber rattling reaching new levels. The map below shows the 14 locations in the U.S. Russia would largely target in a nuclear war. And I don't see no map anywhere. Okay, here's the list right here. Comfort Suites, Kings Bay Naval Base area. Well, I mean, of course they're going to hit all military bases. The Pentagon, Washington, D.C. We're about to get out of here. The Pentagon is perhaps the most obvious target located in Arlington, Virginia. It is the headquarters for the U.S. Department of Defense. Naval Station Norfolk. So Jeremiah 51, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Just like I'm trying to change positions. Okay. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart both man and beast. In those days and in that time, said the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together going and weeping. They shall go and seek the power. Let me get to the point. And that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the inhabitants of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldees, and be as the he goats before the flock. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. And Russia is the head of these nations. Well, not politically, but as far as the war is concerned, they're leading that charge. As 38 says, she's a guard unto these other nations, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, nuclear missiles, shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So this thing's going to happen. This thing's going to happen regardless of what these idiots want. And that's a mighty army that's coming up out of, that's coming forth. You know, 5 parts. 5 parts. So don't think for a second it's just these military bases going to get hit. Of course, at Russia's disposal, there's thousands of missiles, 5,000 up close to 6,000. And you might have to believe that, and getting ready for this World War III, which the world is getting ready for, they're increasing that nuclear arsenal. More, especially all nuclear capable countries. They're increasing their stockpiles. That's the Lord. That's $5,889 nuclear warheads. So that's sufficient, more than enough to hit all of Babylon's targets around the world and at sea. Nuclear submarines, so on, that's going to get hit. Warships, aircraft carriers. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. As you see here. While the Kremlin has only ever made vague threats of nuclear war, Russia State TV once listed potential targets in the U.S. NATO General Secretary Jens Stoltenberg warned Putin last year that a nuclear war can never be won. He said Russia must know that a nuclear war can never be won and must never be fought. Here's that Revelation. What's that? Revelation 17. Burn her with fire. Again, mentioning Russia and the other capable nuclear power nations, NATO nations. 17. What does that say? Victory for the Lamb. The doom of Babylon. The doom of Babylon. Especially Obadiah 1. You know, that were friends with thee has deceived thee, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will. What's his will? What's his will? To destroy Esau, Edom, and his kingdom, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, America, Babylon, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So that's just last video I want to play by Colonel Douglas McGregor, and I'm going to close.
This is 50 years later. This is not 1973. This is 50 years later. We assumed that Russia was weak and incapable and could do nothing but respond to our demands. We got an education. You know, a similar phenomenon in the region today of the Middle East. This is not 1973. This is 50 years later. All of these countries are more capable, both in terms of their populations, they're better educated, and more capable of acting decisively in uniform, but especially Turkey and Iran. These are nations of nearly 90 million people each. The Iranians have some of the best air and missile and space experts in the world. They put together an arsenal of missiles that could dramatically destroy Israel if launched. Then you have the Turks. They can put 2 million men into the field in a month, and they have an excellent army. They also have new missiles in their arsenals that could easily destroy Israel and actually attack our offshore naval power, just as the Iranians do. And the populations in the region are 100% behind them. This is not 1973.
Now you hear that where it said that the population in the area is 100% behind them. 100% behind them. And that's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Listen, like the scripture says here, for the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill his will. That's the whole region, not just the presidents or its governments, the people in the region as well. That's the hatred of Yahweh Shem Yahushai he has for Babylon and the Edomites. The Edomites, period. The Edomites is all across the globe. That's his hatred he has for these nations. He don't love all nations, man. He don't love all people. He only loves his Israelites. You know? And it's actually the Edomites that's kick-starting this war. That's orchestrating this war. You know? Behind the scenes. Secretly causing this war to happen so they can, again, what? Take the kingdom? It would have never happened. Hold on. The scripture. rats, man. Again, like I said, this documentary is powerful. War with Amalek. That's what I should have put up, typed in. Exodus 17:16. For he said, because the Most High has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And that war is drawn to a close. Well, after 1,000 years. Who they say Amalek is with Amalek. And we all know it's a son of Esau. Amalek dwelling in a valley, son of Eliphaz, my concubine Timnah, grandson of Esau, and progenitor of a tribe people of the southern Canaan. Descendants of Amalek, descendants of Esau, a descendant of Esau. And these people know who they are as well. Amalek knows, to this day, Amalek knows who they are. Close Obadiah. Got a bike on the way. Ordered a bike. So I can start doing some hardcore cardio. Waiting on it to be delivered. And my calf is coming along. You know, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He's healing it. Which I thought it'd be, at this point I'm at, still be at maybe 85%, but it's probably healed like 50% at the most, if not a little better. I hardly walk with a limp now. I'll feel myself limping just a slight, or I'll find myself walking normal. Like yesterday, I noticed, like, wait a minute, I'm walking without a limp. I wear the boot, and the boot, when I'm doing some walking, it's the blood's flowing through it. It does a little stretch. So it looks like it's coming along. This healing process coming along pretty well. But I got a bike on the way, so I can start riding again. I already had a bike. It's old. Just wanted a new one. A mountain bike. The other one I have is a road bike, street bike. Like the Tour de France. I like the mountain bikes. So, and now I mention these bikes, and when you're riding a bike, learn them gears. Learn them gears, and gears is important. So if shifting up, you're able to go faster. You can't start off in the hard gear. I mean, you can do what you want, but when you're actually using a bike, ride wisely. Learn them gears. Which I had to stress that on my pet Monster. Being hard-headed and stubborn, not using the gears. She just getting on the bike, riding, and I find myself leaving her behind. It's frustrating. It's just frustrating. Just, whew. Okay, here we go. Verse 7, all of the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding him. So these heathens are going to rise up against this place. It's just a blessing to see this happening. prophecies. You know, the Lord, His word, like you said, is faithful and true. Shalom.